Sure stain, sure stain, sure stain. It can get slightly tiresome having a button mash. I've stated that one of the power-ups in this game, you can just simply hold the button. And that means that for the rest of your power-ups, you do have to button mash. It can get slightly tiring. Only slightly. It's nothing that'll make your hands sore too much. Not a huge complaint in the game. Damn. Look at this game. How did Blue Sky pull off with these graphics? I mean, this is not one of the better looking stages, but even so, this game looks even better than the likes of Sonic 3 and Knuckles. This was supposed to be Sega's answer to Donkey Kong Country, except this game is clearly nowhere near as popular because the Mega Drive was dying when this game came out. So it kind of makes me wonder why they didn't just move the sequel to the Sega Saturn or something. Screw the 32X. Because even though Saturn wasn't doing well, it still probably would have done better there. Well, let's be honest. The first installment wasn't exactly popular, so imagine how poor the sales were for the second game. Okay, that's backtracking. Let's not bother with that. That's probably where I drilled to. There's so many televisions to destroy in this. You'll just get some useless crap sometimes, but of course you can also get some power-ups here and there. You also have the wave beam, that's what it's called. So you'll be able to fire for like 30 degrees, if that makes any sense. A wave of them. I recommend for this one using your jets to deal damage. It's not too hard to time here at all, since that boss is about the height of Vectorman's jumping abilities, and thank God the invincibility frames are thing. You won't receive immediate damage after taking a hit. So, like, this game is merciful to some regard. Here's another meh and brief stage. Controlling like Frogger. Constantly facing upward. Yipes, yipes. Oh. I didn't know the conveyors, or forgot that the conveyor speeds up. That was was it my fault, or did it just happen on its own? Okay, take care of these immediately, whatever the case is. Because that was slightly embarrassing on my part. Blah-de blah-de blah. Don't need details on how much points I received for how quickly I finished this and whatnot. Anyways, look how detailed the layers of backgrounds are. Once again, how did Blue Sky, or Sky Blue, whatever, pull this off? Clearly pushing the Mega Drive to its limits. If I were to see gameplay footage of this, I would know what system it's on. Someone told me it was on the Saturn. I would totally buy it. I would totally believe that. For this game puts most, if not all, 32X games to shame graphically. You can't say every single one of them, but you get the idea. I mean, I don't think the add-on, at least the Sega CD add-on, was a particularly bad idea it just probably came out a little too soon. Sega should have developed it for like a year more so it could have been more capable. So it could have had more colors on the screen. Wow, how the hell did it knock me up all the way up there? Jeez. It's like those enemies from Mario Sunshine. Forgive me for not remembering what they're called. Saying, I don't think the 32X... actually, the 32X is a bad idea. The Sega CD was a bad idea in itself. Sega should have just developed it more, made it more powerful, so it could have been closer to the Saturn's power. Sega was often early with releasing consoles, like how the Saturn was released before the PlayStation, the Dreamcast was released long before its competitors, especially the Cube and Xbox. Yikes. Dang it. Dang it. And going through this again, whatever you've collected will stay in your possession, so you don't have to worry about 100%ing it. If you die... Okay, oh, derp, I could just jump up there. That path was completely optional. I do like how, if you're ducking on a slope upward, you'll be able to shoot that same angle. Unfortunately, not work if you're pressing down on it when the slope is facing downwards. So you still have to jump over enemies at times, and then shoot them, or use your jets. Here's probably my least favorite level in this game. It's just, while clearly still pushing the Genesis to its limits, with how many layers of backgrounds there are. Just kind of a dull level. I never really cared for this one too much. There, it happened again. Is it just a thing with those enemies? I thought the game kind of glitched on me, but since it happened 5 minutes after, I'm going to assume that's not the case. This weapon, unfortunately, it's rather slow. You are almost able to run as fast as it hovers to whichever side of the screen it is. So it can clearly deal some powerful blows. Was that called the wave beam, or that other one that wasn't something you were able to just hold the button down? Pointless collecting, but still doing it for the hell of it. Anyways, okay, once again, you can count on me playing through the sequel immediately after playing through Vectorman 1. There's actually going to be a Vectorman 3. It's going to come out for the PlayStation 2. Fans are kind of mixed about it, because it didn't really look like a Vectorman game. But it looked like a fine game on its own. Seriously, camera. It's on the far left screen for a while. So the camera could have used a bit of work when you're a vehicle. Which reminds me of when Darkness the Curse reviewed Vectorman 1 and 2. He stated that Vectorman would have been a no-brainer for including him in Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed, that he could be his own car. I could not agree more. Even though the game clearly has a lot of like non-sexual fan service for Sega fans, the lack of Vectorman and its ability to transform to a car is kind of baffling. Can be able to transform into a vehicle like Knights is. Oh, it's boss time, that's why I couldn't move forward. But as I was saying about Vectorman 3, it was gonna come out only for the PlayStation 2. It got cancelled because apparently Vectorman looked too similar to Master Chief. If that was true, I don't get why they didn't just redesign him. "21 seconds. Jeez. I don't really pay attention to the timers, but hey, that'll prevent the game players from dragging too long in these levels, even with being able to collect everything. So I guess if you're gonna collect everything, be quick about it. Do not play around. Just get it dealt with." I mean, Vectorman could still come back. I mean, after all, to those who are saying there'll never be another Vectorman game, that's what people said about Shenmue 3. Am I wrong? But fortunately, and I mean really fortunately, Yu Suzuki is indeed working on a Shenmue 3. So damn it, a Vectorman 3 is a possibility. I probably won't buy it the first day it comes out, but I will certainly purchase it if it becomes a thing. At least let there be a spiritual reboot of it. At least have the same developers work on a Vectorman like game. If Vectorman himself has to never show his face in the gaming world ever again. You see, Vectorman transforms into a lot of things. Cars one of them. So again, him being in Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed should have been rather obvious. But what can you do? It was still a solid game. About as good as the first one. I'm using a jetpack. Where can I go? It doesn't look like I can go anywhere heading to the left. Ah well, kinda wasted. That's probably the most unusual power in the game, the jetpack. Unless there's more of them that just happen to be more well hidden than the others. Yipes, 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 yipes. And of course, as you can see, you're able to collect times whatever. Times 2, 3, 5, and 10. Don't take it for granted if you want a high score. That television looked at me funny. The end must be on the animation on the flags. The only graphical flaw I can think of in this game is if you're a fish and if you're swimming up, Vectorman's still facing more to the left or right. That did bother me a bit. But besides that, graphics, animation in this game are top-notch. I say that, and Vectorman 2 is even more impressive, and visually appealing for that matter. Here's one of these unique stages, which gives you very little time, already down to 24 seconds. Gotta be cautious of the twisters. Okay, now the opening's coming. Get ready, get ready. If I have to receive hits, that's okay. Very good. Oh, and those photons couldn't collect those useless items. Vatatis. Thunderbolt and lightning, very, very frightening. Queen was for the longest time one of my favorite artists. They've clearly made some of the best 70s and 80s songs of all time. Zap! And boom! Thanks, grenade form. It would certainly make your heart pound if any of the bolts would strike even close to Vectorman. Be sure to shoot downwards if, from time to time, just to make sure you don't land on any enemies, or if you're destroying enemies below it. That can be a minor nitpick, and even then, just button mashing as you're facing down does help a bit. This game is 20 years old and it has still aged really friggin' well. Many gamers will still find it enjoyable to this day. This game is very much timeless. Certainly more so than many of the 16-bit games and many of the 32/64-bit games. So yeah, good job, Sky Blue. I'm certainly not familiar with Sky Blue's work, or Blue Sky's work. Shame on me for not remembering whichever name it is. I know they did Spider-Man for the 32X, to be more specific. And that's just because I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. Otherwise, I know they did a bunch of work for Atari and Sega. Just most of the games aren't exactly well known. And it's clearly obvious why this is on a Sonic collection. I mean, besides the fact that they couldn't get as many gems on here as Sega would like, but let's be honest. Sega games sell better if it has the title Sonic in them. At least that was the case for the most part. Apparently Sonic Boom is the poor-selling Sonic title that isn't like a miscellaneous Sonic title that isn't like on Gamecom or something, like the poor-selling mainstream Sonic game. See, Sonic isn't doing too hot lately, though I'm glad to see that that Sega apologized for creating poor quality Sonic games. I don't consider most of his games to be bad, but many people consider his games after SA2 to be poor, to be a huge disappointment. The only Sonic games I would consider downright bad would be Sonic 06. I would say Sonic Boom Shattered Crystal from the demo I've played. Sonic Labyrinth. But most of the games that people consider like really bad, I just find mediocre. Zips, don't be sliding to the enemy now. That's clearly not an intelligent thing to do. Now that I've destroyed that thing, it means if I find the satellite, destroy that, I will play a minigame. Let's show it off if I can. For I am nearly finished. What will this monitor give me? So many paths to choose from as well. So this game clearly does have replay value. There are clearly reasons to come back to this game. I mean, playing through harder difficulties is one of them. I've never legitimately finished Vectorman 2 on the 2-hour difficulties either. So once again, I'm probably going to choose lame. That's how the game's going to label me. But, oh well. Can't be an expert on everything. Can't be a pro on every single game I touch, I guess. Oh, do I really want that 1-up anyways? I mean, look how many I have. Well, it doesn't matter. It's gone now. It's long gone. Alright, it's bonus time. Welcome to bonus game. Just use a pad. And that is probably it. So it is your left thumb's turn for some button mashing. Time to put your right hand. Give your right hand a little bit of a rest. Quite a bit of projectiles. Quite a bit of enemies. Loser bonus? Crap.